time. Cool.
You have failed this city.
Winter is coming.
Star-Lord.
Finish him. Hadouken! Fatality.
And welcome to the Free Your Geek podcast. I am your host, Jay Free. To my left, my two co-hosts. First, KB.
What's up, brother?
How you doing? And our newest co-host, and you're not really new anymore.
No,
but
he's a veteran now.
Yeah, he's a vet. He's kind of situated now. Ladies and gentlemen, the Don.
How's it going?
So what's going on, guys? What's this show all about? I'm kind of taking a back seat to this whole experience tonight.
It's Resident Evil week.
Resident Evil week. So
That's
the
it.
video game came out Tuesday.
Yep.
And the movie's coming out tomorrow or
Yep.
tonight.
No, it's,
Well, probably tonight. I'm sure they're showing us tonight, but
Yeah.
officially tomorrow.
Very cool, very cool. Before we jump into everything we want to talk about, I know you want to mention a couple things, but I also want to mention our sponsors, which you see scrolling on the bottom of your screen right now. Pachico's Furniture, been with us from the start. Check them out. Unique Customs, check them out. Two awesome businesses located locally here in Fall River, Massachusetts. So we got that, great sponsors. Don created this really cool poster, which I love. And Don, I know you kind of worked your magic. You have a couple of different Facebook groups you're a part of, and
Yeah.
you want to give a couple of shout outs there to thankfully them sharing our podcast as well. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to the Hyperspin and Raspberry Pi arcade group. Thanks for the support. You guys were the first ones to reach out and definitely show a lot of interest in it. And we here at Free Your Geek, we appreciate that. We like to geek out, and that was very cool, you guys. Thanks.
It's really, as Don said, appreciate it. And I haven't checked them out yet because Don typically invites us to these things. He's like, oh, you got to check this out, and he was really excited about this group. Is it a closed group, or can anyone join and like the page?
It is a closed group. They accepted me. A lot of these groups that I was accepted to, I let them know, hey, I'm a new member of the Free Your Geek podcast. We cover all things in the realm of geekiness. That's it. That's what we do. And Hyperspin was the first one to, to answer back, commented on it, said, it'd be great if you guys could give us a shout out on.
Absolutely. So have you? I'm assuming you've had time to check out their Facebook page.
Yeah, they're a really cool group.
Yeah.
Really cool
What type of give us just
Yeah.
a
What type of
synopsis.
material?
I would say that they would be like a bigger version of us. I see a lot of gaming on there. I see a lot of like Marvel memes and stuff like that. It's cool.
So if you're a fan of memes, you're a fan of like comedy, I guess, because it's kind of funny, but gaming as well.
But definitely tons of gaming on there. Definitely
we kinda
a
dip
lot
our
of gaming.
hands into
And everything.
But they're a larger version. They're more established, if you will.
I would definitely say so. With the
That's
amount
awesome.
of group members that they have. Yeah.
And that's fantastic. And that's what it's really about. It's about a community, kind of like sharing your passions.
Yeah.
As KB's mentioned numerous times, it's all about like your
Being a geek is it's something that's in the heart, man.
yeah. So that's
know?
that's awesome. And to have I love groups like that where it's like just a community of
Yep.
people that's like just sharing their love of all things geek, as we talked about. So.
It's the feeling of a Comic-Con, but online.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like a community. I just like that
Yep.
that feeling. So again, thank you for letting Don into that community.
Yes,
And
thank you.
I hope to be joining shortly. That being said, speaking of gaming, we're going to be talking about Resident Evil 7. I have never, and this is where I might have to check in my geek card, my geek cred. Never played. I played one Resident Evil game,
4.
and Resident Evil 4. It was a port. I tried it. Did not like the controls. Kind of turned me off. But I'm going to give it another shot based on what these guys say. So their mission today is
To
to
sell
convince
him.
me to pick up.
We're
this
always
game.
trying to sell Jay
We
Free,
are,
man.
that's
Always
it.
trying to sell him.
I love it. So so both of you have played the game.
We haven't completed it now. Neither one of us has
No.
completed
Yeah, so
it. It's just more of a first impressions.
Let me ask: are we going to do spoilers here? Because we might have to put out a spoiler warning.
I think we'll try to refrain from spoilers
Yeah.
the best that we can.
Okay.
KB is definitely much more ahead of me, but yeah, I just I guess we'll give you two different standpoints,
Yeah.
like because I've been VRing it,
And I've been playing it the normal way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets the traditional Resident Evil feel, where I get what they're trying to do now, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
Yep.
that how
The
you
VR,
describe
yeah.
it? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
The
Okay.
immersive
So
Oh,
play.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of just get a feel for each of you before we get into the actual game itself. Just your history. Have you played every single game in the franchise, or were there some that you skipped? Were there some that you liked better than others?
It's hard to play every single game in the franchise. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there are for every good game there's a couple of poor ones that aren't as great. Some are like rail shooters and
Yeah.
things like that. So, but most of the main games I've played.
I can honestly say I've played every main game. I've never played Code Veronica, Umbrella Files, or whatever that is.
Yeah.
I haven't played any of the other games.
And it's much bigger than the games too, and not to get way off topic, but it's you have the movies, which we're going to talk about later. You also got the animated movies as well. So there's also 2 animated flicks.
See, I
So-
should
Check
know
that out.
Yeah.
I'm
So
in the dark on that one.
phenomenal animated flicks. And there's comic books. So it's a whole mini universe. The unique thing about Resident Evil, what I really appreciate about it is, at least from the gaming perspective, is that there's no main character. You know what I mean? Like when you play a game, you have like, okay, Master Chief, or you have you're playing Arkham as Batman, you're playing Uncharted as Nathan Drake,
Tomb Raider.
In Resident Evil, you don't have a main protagonist throughout the games. It's a mixture of characters that take on the role, and a lot of times you're usually playing as 2 characters.
Yeah, and you know what I love? That they interweave.
Yes, and all their stories are very intertwined. And and that's where the movies change it a bit, because you have to kind of have a central character to keep the movies, I think, going, and that's where they changed it a bit. But that's the great thing about it, is it has a lot of great characters, and so going back towards the game now, I think that's where there's some concern. I mean, again, I haven't finished the game, about how well it translates back, because they're going away from all the characters that we know, that we've invested 15, 20 years into, and saying, oh, here's some new characters, a new point of view for this story. So, this is where we are, and we're like, oh, but we love this character, we love that character, and we're not going to see any of them. So it's definitely a change of pace. And I think when a property's been around for so long and they change it like that, it's a little scary. But so far, the game has been...
I was just going to say that the biggest takeaway that I just got from that little exchange right there was that you say you haven't finished the game yet. It came out, 2 days ago?
Yeah. But no, there are people that have already finished.
I know that,
it's
but
not
you work,
Yeah.
8 hours a day, full time,
Yep.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. If you had all that free, and plus you just got married.
Yeah.
If you had that much free time to finish a game of that magnitude,
Well,
that'd be
it's
beast
I
mode,
think
man.
the average time on the game right now is like 10 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not...
That's a good game. That's a good. That's a playthrough. I mean, yes, you have like
Speed run is 4.
Okay.
So there's a trophy out there to get it in 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I get immersed with any game I play. I
Take in the scenery,
replay
get
that.
immersed in.
Like
Yeah.
we were talking a little offline. You're trying to get me into what is it? Elder Scrolls
Elder
Online?
Scrolls Online. Shout out to my guild real quick. He dropped an ESO reference on here. Yeah, we're all big into Elder Scrolls right now,
Okay.
and I would
Yeah.
love for you guys to be part of
Well,
that.
we got to get you into DCU.
There's not enough time in the day.
Yeah. But no, I'm all about that, man. We're gonna have to. try
So
that
we
out.
digress.
Yeah. Sorry, little side
Yeah.
check here.
That's okay.
Don, going back now on your end for as far as your experience with Resident Evil and as far as the game.
Okay, so what I gotta say is everybody who knows me knows I'm obsessed with zombies. Like, I am a zombie fanatic, and that comes from backstory. Back in 6th grade, I want to say RE1 came out. And my friend lived in the Sonnet Woods, and he had a camper in his backyard, and me and my 2 friends sleepover party. One of my friends brings his PlayStation, breaks out Resident Evil 1. Whew. So here we are, all dark, playing Resident Evil 1 in the woods.
Damn.
The game brought such a level of terror to me that, I knew I'm about horror games. That's what it was. And I have to say this about there are many other horror games on the market, but the Resident Evil franchise is really one of the games that keeps me coming. I like the puzzle aspect of it. I love zombies. I mean, I think it really sprung from Resident Evil.
And that was the point of 7, is trying to go back to the horror roots, because we got away from that with 5 and 6. Kind of got away from the horror roots. They're still there, but not like they are in this game.
I completely agree
Yeah.
with you.
And that's where a lot of the fans started to fall off, around 5, some at 4.
Yeah. See, with 5, I love the co-op.
Yeah.
The co-op, like when you're split screening, like my fiance and I did the co-op split screen, and we're like swapping ammo back and
Yeah.
forth and everything. I found that cool. 6, love you, Resident Evil franchise, but you were a letdown to me. Some people who made it further than I did told me I should have stuck it out a little longer,
Yes.
but I didn't. I gave up too
The
early.
interesting thing about 6 is you have 4 campaigns.
I know.
And it's getting through it, and all the stories cross. So
Yeah.
you don't get the full picture just playing one and putting it down. And I think a lot of people that are disappointed in that game didn't see it through. Like, if you truly love the franchise and the characters, you will find at least one of those campaigns enjoyable. Because Ada has her own campaign as well, and like it's yeah. So
Awesome character you just dropped.
it's a very you need to be dedicated to play it though.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. But it's, again, fantastic game, and I think that with that game, for me, it was the stories. A lot of people, I think, when 6 came out, they were kind of fed up with the fact that the game, all games around that time, around 5 and 6, were kind of going into the shooter mold.
Yes.
Like even Dead Space, like Dead Space 1
You
was
would tell me.
terrifying.
Yep.
Dead Space 2 and 3 were kind of more shooterish because everybody was making shooters. They were just going with what the industry was going with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But back to 7. So what do you think about 7 so far?
Okay, so I took a quick peek and I saw that my buddy Corey Kays is viewing right now, aka Relic's Blood, aka Elder Relic. Shout out to you, bud. So what we ended up doing is we did like a little Free Your Geek mini, to kind of build up for this episode. I kicked back and I was the viewer, so I can see when you're playing in the VR. I'm sitting back watching everything that is happening to him. I jumped in for a little bit, don't get me wrong, but I like the game. Okay, as we all know, if you know anything,
This game is bloody.
This game is
This
definitely
game is
bloody.
bloody.
But what I appreciate is this game takes place in Louisiana. That's a real place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Raccoon City.
It's not real.
There's no Raccoon City.
Yeah.
Like this house could actually be there.
It could exist somewhere in the South. Yeah.
I really feel like it could.
An old decrepit, like, old slave mansion or something that has overgrown with swamp and, like,
Yes.
yeah, it could exist somewhere.
And think of all the movies we've seen, like Wrong Turn and all this.
Yeah, it has that kind of vibe.
You could definitely see like a Sideways Family out there, and
Texas Chainsaw was what a lot of people were comparing it
boom.
to.
I didn't even think of it, but
Yeah.
yes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, awesome reference right there.
Yep.
KB with an awesome reference. I like the game. I like what I'm seeing. This house is disgusting. Like it's very horror movie driven, and everybody who knows me knows horror movies get me.
Yeah, the house is called the Dolvay House,
The Dolvay,
which is just very Southern French, French Quarter, like,
I do declare
Yeah.
at the Solvay house.
The family, the Bakers, they're a messed up family. We have Jack the father, Marguerite the mother, Lucas the brother, and Zoe the sister. And they're a bit crazy. A new enemy's introduced in this game as well, the Mold Men. So
He's ahead of me in the game.
Yep, Mold Men.
Spoiler to me.
Spoiler. Well, not even talking about what they are. Just
Oh,
calling
no.
them what they are. You know what I mean? They're called Mold Men, but they're pretty intense. What I do like about this is, if you think about it so far in how we've played it, is that because I know how far you've gotten, and basically, with this game, it follows an old formula in a certain way. Remember when we played Super Mario Brothers, right? And you get to the end of a level, and it's, hey, our princess is in another castle.
Yeah.
If you think about this game, it kind of does that in this weird horror way. So our protagonist here, Ethan Winters, is looking for his girlfriend Mia,
Yeah.
or wife. I think it's girlfriend, but anyway, she disappears. This is just the prologue, so I'm not giving away too much here. Disappears, and she's missing for like 3 years. All of a sudden, he gets an email saying,
it.
"Come and get me. Here's the address."
Oh, yeah.
And so you're thinking, oh, this is going to be one of those games where you're just trying to get your girlfriend back. You know what I mean? You're just trying to find your princess.
Yeah.
But we see her very quickly in the game.
Oh, yeah, we see
very
her all
quickly.
right.
And we see her, I've even seen her one more time, and I'm probably only a third of the way through. So it's like, you get close to her. oh, this isn't the time. Get
Yep.
closer again. This isn't the time. Our princess is in another castle. It's a modern way of doing it, if you think about it.
KB's on point with these
So-
analogies.
So you're taking something very classic in a classic way of developing a story that's legendary, Super Mario Brothers, and kind of just if you think about it, kind of has a little twist in there like that that keeps it interesting. So you're not just like, oh, the ultimate goal is finding her.
Yeah.
You find her in the beginning, and you find out some messed up stuff.
Ooh.
Interesting weapons in this game. Very interesting weapons from the enemies. I'm not going to go too crazy, but typical Resident Evil style. Very gruesome kind of stuff. You got to the garage.
I got to the garage, yeah.
Very gruesome. Intense boss battle there.
Without giving away too much, it was insane, and
Yep.
what you had to do
Yep.
was insane.
Yep. You had to figure out a way. What I've noticed is I've done 2 boss battles so far, and it's very close quarters.
Yeah.
Very close quarters. You don't have a lot of room to move. So it's very, very intense. It's one of those things that the characters are very terrifying, and you do lose limbs. Not to be too much of a spoiler, I'm not giving away specifics, but you lose limbs. And
He's right. And what shocks me in this I don't know what you want to call it, backwater house in Louisiana. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's the right term for it, but you lose limbs, and these people know how to reattach your limbs. I
Yeah.
mean, I was like, oh my goodness, there goes my hand.
Yep.
And-
you're thinking that you're like, how am I going to do this?
And that,
yeah.
tell me you didn't get a kick out of it. I'm like,
I
oh.
did. I did. It was just we're seeing a different twist on the way a virus works in Resident Evil. That's another thing I can say. Usually people get the virus, and then a lot of times we've seen people be able to really kind of control it. They either turn into zombies, or they can kind of control.
They, like,
it a
morph,
bit
yeah.
and morph. We're seeing a kind of more unstable kind of virus here. So it's just I can't wait to finish playing it. I really can't wait to finish playing it. It's just been fantastic. Graphics are really good. Graphics are top notch. The puzzles are challenging enough, but not overly.
No,
They're enough.
I would say like they're very like for those who maybe just like in their early days played like RE1, they're like if you were playing like RE1 on standard mode, like not the Nightmare Edition or
Yeah.
anything like that. Like
Yeah.
you can figure out these puzzles
You're not
relatively
gonna.
easy.
You're not gonna get. You won't. I don't think you'll find frustration.
No,
You know what I mean?
definitely not.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the T virus because that really didn't enter my head. Like playing
Well, we don't know
as
what virus this is.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
or any
Yeah.
sort of virus. Like I'm watching this and again, like I'm getting a horror movie feel. I'm getting as if I'm watching people possessed by the devil or demons or whatever it may be. I feel like I'm watching these people torture this man. Like it is very horror movie like. And for me, I mean, my dream is for the zombie apocalypse to happen. You guys know that. If you're my friend and you're watching this, you guys
Don,
know.
I'd probably be right there with you.
I would like we are gonna like join up and rise against the zombies. But no, really,
Jay Free's face. He's like,
I'd be dead.
He's like,
I'm dead.
Jay Free is gonna be. We'll protect him.
yeah, wait a minute. He'll be Shane and you'll be Otis.
Yeah, there you go. Walking Dead. Mini spoiler if you haven't seen any of The Walking Dead yet, but that's what season
Like
two.
Oh man, come on! You gonna come with me?
Wait, I don't want to call him. I don't want to call him Shane because we know what happens to Shane.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I don't have the Daryl Dixon-ish. It'd be nice if I knew how to track, but I don't. But little like side note, I've become so obsessed with the zombie apocalypse that I have survivalist gear, and I bought myself a bow and arrow set for my birthday last year, so I can kill zombies, I can hunt food, and I can keep making my own ammo. Boom! Just
That's all you
happened.
need.
He just dropped that knowledge.
It
right
did.
there.
It just happened. And like playing in VR is I would probably say like the closest thing to like craziness happening. Like I would love to be in a horror movie. Beth and I watch horror movies all the time, and I'm like, Can you believe that this person heard that noise and went in the basement? Can you believe they ran up the stairs?
Did you ever take one of those horror quizzes?
I
Like,
have.
and I always get you're the killer, or the killer would run from you. I always get an answer like that when I take them.
The last one that I can recall, I was the one who made the one to die before the last person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you sacrificed yourself for the main person to get away. No. I am gonna trip you. You're gonna fall, and I'm getting away.
I always get the killer's gonna run from you. So,
Me and KB are definitely teaming up.
yeah.
I'm keeping my distance.
He's
Oh,
not
my
only
goodness.
quiet, he's also like, before you know it, he's gonna be like slowly off the screen.
That's it.
That's it. And you guys can just go with it. So, overall thoughts. Like, if you were to give the game a rating, 1 to 10, 10 being the best. Let's first compare it to other games within the Resident Evil franchise,
Okay. Other
and
games.
then
within the
overall
franchise.
as a gamer. what
Other
you
games
give
of franchise. It's hard because when you haven't finished it, 'cause
Yeah.
there's so much to it.
Well, first impressions wise, then.
First impressions wise, it's probably it's gonna be probably it's at least in the top 3. I'm not gonna go specifically, but it's in the top 3. I
Okay.
think so far.
So I
based
got
on
really
what I've
hyped
seen.
up. I want to ask you: have you ever played The Evil Within?
Yes, I love the Evil Within.
All right,
a lot of
I
people
got
don't, but I love it.
I got really stoked for it, and it did have I would say like my first few like interactions
Resident
with
Evil
the game.
feel
Yeah.
big time.
And then
Yep.
for some, I don't know. I completely lost interest.
Yeah.
Like the story wasn't driving me to want to hold
The
on
story's
to my
tough,
controller.
but the scares are good.
The scares are very good.
But the story's tough.
But
So that's why with this one, I don't want to say, oh, it's the best one, and then I get further, and I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
you don't want to feel that. But first impressions wise, I say it could be in the top 3.
yeah, I'll say for me, first impressions, I'll give it a 9 out of 10 because there's always room for improvement with any game.
Yeah.
You can't give anything. a 10.
I'd agree with what a lot of the critics are doing right now and saying it's like an 8, 8.5.
Yeah.
It's probably somewhere around there. Could be 9 when I'm done.
Yeah.
But first impressions, at least an 8.5. Yeah. So definitely check it out. Like if you haven't picked it up, and you're a fan of horror, or you're a fan of zombies, and the nice thing is if you've never touched a Resident Evil game, it's kind of not a bad starting point because you really don't have to know anything.
Well, that was going
From
to be my
past.
question. Like,
Yeah.
I know like bits and pieces of the overall franchise, but having never played the series like through, is it going to be something akin to like we brought up Uncharted before,
Yep.
like Uncharted 2, where it's like some of the history. or even-
Uncharted, you really have to.
well, that's what I'm wondering.
Grind it
Or
out,
like even
feel the
like
games.
one of the games that I really like. I haven't picked up one in a while, but Assassin's Creed.
Creed, yeah.
I was a really big fan of that, and like that whole story. And then they've kind of branched out and done
Yeah.
some other stuff.
Branches out too much.
Right. So, like history wise, like how much do I have to know to get into?
None.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. That's the beauty of this one.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's great for newcomers.
Yeah.
So-
and I would definitely say
Yeah.
like you love horror movies, play this game.
Yeah.
You're the main character in the horror movie. You're not the killer, but you're the main character. So I mean, it's on point.
And the other thing about this game is ammo is scarce.
I've noticed.
You can create ammo,
That's cool.
but a lot of times you have to. There's certain parts in the game you have to hide. You don't have a choice.
yeah.
I've gotten to. There's a videotape. I don't know if you've seen the videotape, the Mia videotape. There's a Mia videotape.
Corey,
of
if
the
you're
girl.
still watching, I think we got 2 videotapes, right?
Yep.
You can just
Yep.
comment. I think we got 2.
But the Mia videotape, if you played that one yet, did you
Yeah.
guys play that one?
no, I remember the camera
Play
crew
it.
tape
If
and
you got the Mia videotape, play it because you just run and hide.
Wait a
All you
second.
can do is hide.
Is that the second videotape?
Second videotape, yeah.
Then okay, yeah, we did see it, and that's where he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's where we ended off. That's
Yeah.
as far as I've
Yes.
made it, and it's insane.
Obviously, it's a videotape of Mia.
yeah,
She has no weapons. All she's doing is
Well-
running and hiding.
I don't want to get too spoilerish. I don't want
Yeah.
to.
okay, no,
Yep.
let's.
Because again, people that haven't picked up the game yet, I don't want to ruin
Yeah.
any surprises.
Yeah,
for them.
no.
But so you guys both really, really like it.
Yeah.
Eight,
Yeah.
8.5, 8.5, and you're
I
9
maybe
out of 10.
9 when it's done.
Yeah.
So
But first
it's
impressions
fantastic.
wise,
First impressions, good.
Yeah.
You know,
So some good stuff. Just some really good stuff.
yeah, I agree. And I just had an idea. He's our Eugene. There's our Eugene. All right. KB talked about creating ammo. Walking Dead. There's our Eugene right there.
I don't know how I feel about that. Especially when I have the power to cut off your mic, sir.
No, Eugene can create ammo. He's very
can.
valuable.
He
Eugene's actually very valuable.
Yeah, except
I don't like that
I
he's
think-
whiny, but you
think-
don't have to be whiny.
Oh, I was just saying. I thought that's what you. I thought you were thinking.
You mean a wuss?
I should.
A wuss, yeah.
I'm gonna cut your both your mics off.
No,
No,
I
that's funny. That's good. That was a good reference. That was a good reference. Call back to The Walking Dead. Okay, so the second part of our Resident Evil show here that we have something coming out either tonight or tomorrow. It might be. I don't know if it's launching at midnight tonight or if there's early showing
think so.
tonight. But
Final chapter.
final chapter. So again, never seen any of the movies. So
Yeah, we have to slap him.
heartbreaking.
I know it's crazy, right?
So if we drop the Alice reference, you don't know what we're talking
I have
about?
Nope,
you
no
don't
clue.
know. So here's what I want.
I've
you
only
guys
been
to do.
posting the videos.
I
like
know.
Mila Jovovich videos.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to just give me just your opinions on which movies do you like the best of the franchise. Which ones do you kind of like? Oh, they really went a different way.
They've gone a completely different way because you have like I said, you have a main character in the movies and you don't in the games.
He's right.
And that's the interesting thing about it. So you have a main character that you're following through 6 movies.
Yep.
And you're seeing main characters from the game throughout different movies. And in the first movie, we really don't see any main characters from the game.
We don't.
In the
We
first
don't.
movie.
We actually don't see any.
Yeah.
I just
We
want to
don't.
give a quick shout out to Frankie Correa. Anybody know Frankie Correa? I don't know Frankie Correa personally, but
Frankie, thanks for watching, brother. Thanks for commenting. We
yeah, this
appreciate
is
that.
awesome. But basically, he's saying played every game and side game since the beginning, and Resident Evil has been one of the favorite franchises. So that's a big selling point. That's like words of praise, and
Yeah.
that's so. I might have to go back and like start playing these games.
Yeah,
not
I
that
mean,
have a whole lot of free
I
time,
mean,
but-
the thing is, like the first ones though, like they're easier to play when you're younger. And
Yeah.
when they came out, because that's what the technology was. Now you probably struggle a little bit more because of just the way the games play. You know, it was a different way of playing.
KB, you just like hooked me up on
So-
how I would describe this. So I recently bought the Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1 combo pack, and I went back to play it, and I realized that controls of video games have
Changed so much.
progressed
Yeah.
so much that when you're trying to play RE1, and even though you know how incredible the story is and you love the puzzles
Yep.
to it and everything, the controls are so outdated. You can't fully
Camera
enjoy
angles
it.
and
Can't see.
things they
KB
couldn't
knows.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really tough. So 7's a good starting point.
Oh
you know?
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. I mean, I didn't mean to segue that. I just saw
No.
that comment.
No, that was
I
a
had to
good
throw
segue.
that in.
I think that's cool that Frankie
Yeah,
watched.
if you're a newcomer, 7's.
Yeah. So getting back to the upcoming movie. So was there the first one? Is that the starting point? Is that like
The first one is how the virus outbreak. It's basically the mansion. It basically
It's-
is Resident Evil 1.
It is Resident Evil 1 minus KB and I's main characters
Jill
of
Valentine
1.
is,
And
is
that name does ring a bell.
Jill Valentine is kind of. I mean, if you had to pick who is a main character,
Jill and Chris take over in RE1.
franchise wide though, from beginning to end, it's probably Jill and Leon.
Yeah.
Probably the two main
Well,
characters.
from
Claire too in the middle. Yeah.
but with numbered, like with the
Yeah.
numbered games like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you and I both haven't got into Code Veronica, Umbrella Files,
I
like,
played Code Veronica for a little bit.
For a little
It's
bit?
Claire. You
Yeah.
started- yeah. it starts
so
with
so
Claire,
I would say I would agree with you, but
Yeah.
I would also throw Redfield in there. Chris
Chris and Claire, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But,
yeah, it's just tough. But the first Resident Evil movie is basically the mansion.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because in the Resident Evil 1 game, Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield are the main characters.
Yeah.
We don't see Jill Valentine until the second Resident Evil movie.
Yep.
And she's a co-character because Alice is the main character. So it's interesting.
She was
how
really
they-
good.
how they do things. But what's really kind of interesting, so we see her in the second movie. Third movie, we see Claire Redfield, right? That was
Okay, so,
Evolution.
I thought we see Claire in Extinction on the
Extinction.
road.
No, not Evolution. I'm thinking
Oh,
of On the
okay.
Road. Extinction. Yep, Extinction's the third movie. So we see her there. Then the fourth movie, Afterlife, right?
Is when we get Jill as an enemy at the end. We get
And Wesker.
and we get Wesker.
Yep.
Yes.
We get a full picture of Wesker. Then we had after that Retribution.
And then that's when
And
we second hit.
Retribution was where they hit like all the characters, like
Yeah.
all the main characters. You have Ada Wong, you have Leon.
Wait, what about the jail? Is where we were introduced
To Chris.
to Redfield.
to
Yeah.
Chris Redfield? Yep.
Yep.
And so it's just like those characters were in the games early on.
Yeah.
But in the movies, they didn't even appear to the last one.
He's spot on.
Yep. So that's one of the things that I'm kind of a little disappointed that. And again, I haven't seen it yet, but with the final chapter going through the cast listings, it doesn't seem like a lot of these characters are there. And that's one of the things I'm a little worried about. If anybody knows better or knows differently, has heard something, please share with us because I've been looking for casting. Because usually by now you should know what the cast of the movie is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you go to like an IMDb or one of those sites, in theory they should have the correct cast.
Yeah.
And I don't see any of those actors or characters in there.
Even this late into the game, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
That's, and they just introduced them in the last movie.
Yeah.
So it's kind of frustrating as a Resident Evil fan if you like all those characters, you get to see them in one movie out of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Barry Burton,
We lost him.
lost him, so we only seen him in one movie.
Leon was still
Leon and
alive.
Ada, but again, they're not in the thing, and I don't even know if Jill's going to be in this one. I didn't see her name in any of the lists that.
No. And
I'm not seeing that. I'm only
Yeah.
seeing. I'll read off the characters. Alice, which we've talked
Yep.
about. Dr. Isaacs.
Yep.
makes his return.
Claire.
Yep, Claire.
Wesker.
Yep.
Doc. Razor. Abigail. Christian.
Yeah.
No, see now they're hitting us with other outside characters.
Yeah. So a lot of those main characters that people have invested in for 20 years. People just so
So do you think that they're trying to do a separate franchise from the game and keep the movies separate from?
No, that's
it's done now, unless they're going to spin something off.
yeah. And what I would have to say is that would be so wrong to do that. You gave us a taste of getting all of our characters. Like that last movie was incredible.
Yeah.
Getting that whole like hit squad going to get Alice out of there. That was awesome.
Bringing
I was a big
Michelle
fan.
Rodriguez back.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, I want to say, Nate, you're definitely right. We both big fans of the villain Wesker. But what I was thinking,
Wesker.
yeah, Wesker was a monster. Do you remember trying to fight him, like with it? He was like the one with the like super fast movement, right?
Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
Insanely powerful. Yeah.
So, wow, that was a tough battle.
5 right here.
That's it. Boom. It's my boy Chris.
Yep.
But I was going to say, so, I mean, my thoughts specifically on, I'll just go franchise-wide. I liked that, finally they started throwing our characters at us. I totally loved, granted we didn't get the exact mansion. Anyone who's played RE1 knows that there is a laboratory under the mansion because that's part of the game. But the main focus of the first Resident Evil movie was this underground laboratory, which is cool.
And
whatever.
it was more of the horror movie than the rest.
Yeah, they wanted to really do their own
Yeah.
thing, and then they realized that they probably had something there, and they wanted to continue with it. I like that they went citywide after that. At first, my only problem with this movie was, why does Alice have powers?
Yeah.
Like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And I like how they tied the story in that Alice and the
second
T-virus
one, in
bonded.
Apocalypse, yeah.
That was awesome.
Fighting Nemesis, yes. Nemesis is a beast.
Nemesis is a
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like I'm upset. Like I'm a big Wentworth Miller fan. Prison Break, boom, thumbs up to Prison Break, and obviously he's not gonna pass on the final Resident Evil movie just so he could maybe finish taping this season of Prison Break, which is coming back.
Also, Captain Cold on the Flash.
Yeah.
Got to give him credit there.
I don't watch DC shows, sorry, and I don't like. What is it, Legends of Tomorrow? Because I
Yeah.
know he's on that too.
I'm gonna-
Him and
I'm
Link
gonna-
the Sink.
Yeah. Well, that's where you and I differ, and that's okay.
I like him.
It's okay to have.
No, it is. It totally
He did
is.
a good job as Chris.
He did. I love that whole scenario. That was so good. That was probably my favorite one.
So your favorite was your favorite movie Afterlife then?
I would have to say, yeah, man, because
For me, Afterlife too.
Yeah.
Afterlife. Now 3D effects. We talk about how 3D's kind of gone away.
yeah,
That was a movie to see in 3D.
yeah.
That movie was filmed for 3D.
Oh my god,
Like
the
a lot-
shower
yes.
scene,
The
like,
shower scene,
whoo!
the beginning, the
It's
opening
not,
sequence.
look at that face. Look at his face.
It's not what you think. Avery.
This guy.
The shower scene is not what you think.
Oh man.
But the shower scene is ridiculous.
I was gonna say it's a
The-
PG show, or
No,
at least
no,
a
Yeah.
no, the
PG-13.
shower scene is not what you think. The shotgun with the quarters.
yeah, genius.
Fantastic for 3D.
Ammo creation.
Making ammo out of rolls of quarters and a shotgun and like just blasting them and like yeah.
So since I've been on the show,
Fantastic.
we've never really done this. Now, see, my question to everybody is, what would you guys, if a zombie apocalypse broke out right now, where would you try to hold down? See, the reason that movie was so big to me is the prison is genius. We got it in Walking Dead. We got it in Resident Evil. But where would you go? Like, if you guys don't mind just throwing us some comments.
That prison, though, in Resident Evil,
that was the
that's
mega
a fortress.
prison.
That's not a prison. That's a fortress.
Cruise ship.
Cruise ship.
Cruise ship.
But ready for your cruise ship? Wait, never mind. That's not what I was going to do.
No, because
The tanker, right?
yeah,
What is
yeah.
it? I can't think of what it was
the
called.
name is skipping me. Somebody give me the name if you're listening. I can't think of the name. Arcadia.
Oh, you got it. Oh,
Arcadia ship.
man. Woo.
You know, at first they think Arcadia is a city in Alaska, and come to find out it's a ship. So that would be a better place to hold up. Jay Free's right.
Oh,
Massive
man.
ship like that.
Yeah.
So, throughout today's discussion, talking about Resident Evil, the video game, and the final chapter coming out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
In the theaters, we have a lot of characters that you like. And we decided to go into our favorite segment of the show where the two of you are going to rank your top. I know you were throwing some curveballs and monkey wrenches into the plan.
Well, I just asked for an enemy. That's all.
So
Or a villain.
So are we going to do top 3 and a villain?
No, just one villain. We'll start with the villain first.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna go into our final segment here, and I say final segment because it's called the final countdown.
It's the final countdown. The final countdown. Yeah. Whoa.
Before we get into the final countdown, our illustrious CEO, Mr. Eric Tolley, on the 59 Media page says 59 Media Studio would be the greatest place to hide in a zombie apocalypse. We could broadcast to you nonstop. Okay, so the final countdown. Gentlemen, since I'm not taking part in this countdown, I think this is the first time I've... Is this history
think-
or the first
I
time
think
I've never
so.
taken 33 shows and I've never taken... never
Yeah.
been off the countdown. So this is my first countdown. We had to wait till Larry Bird to do that.
33.
By the way, I have to ask you, what's your favorite Cranberries song?
Oh, okay. I thought he was going to hit me with, it doesn't matter what your favorite Cranberry song is. Yes,
no.
it's Zombie. Thank you. Nice reference.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that when you said your...
Zombie. Oh, man.
Okay, so who wants to start
Favorite
off?
villain,
I don't know what's
Don?
going to happen. Yeah, I'm going to let you guys lead
You know what
this.
would be interesting? I want to see how much Don and I think alike. Because I have a feeling our lists
Ooh.
might be similar.
Okay.
And that'd be pretty cool, seeing there's so many characters.
So, favorite villain, Resident Evil 3. Name of Resident
Yeah.
Evil 3 is Nemesis. This dude chased you through the underground train, busting through walls coming at you. He had a bazooka, a rocket launcher. Like, this guy was coming at you hard. And
Then the movie.
and then
Apocalypse.
the movie. Okay, good. See, that's what I'll do. I'm gonna tie them together. He was a monster in the movie. I really couldn't see any of our normal Resident Evil characters. Chris, Leon, anybody who would have been introduced to the movie at that time, being able to
Surviving
take
it.
out
Yeah.
this guy. It took Alice, bonded with the T-virus, to destroy him. RE2 was
And
Claire.
she didn't even really destroy him. He kind of...
Oh yeah, because he loved her.
Yeah.
Because what they did in the movie
It's a little
is
different.
yeah, they tied in the love interest of Alice being turned into the nemesis, which I found very interesting.
Yeah.
But I
A little
won't get
different.
into that.
But still, that was the only thing that you could do to fight against him, because there's a scene where he takes out just tons of stars, just standing there.
instantly.
It's amazing.
Side note: stars. For those of you who don't know, Special Tactics and Rescue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Nemesis. I played through Resident Evil 2 with Claire, and it was the B word.
quick
It
challenge.
was very, very hard. But no, wait. RE3. Who are my two main characters in RE3? Because I
Trying
almost
to remember.
did it go back to Jill.
I think it. Yeah, I think it did. It went back. to
If
Jill.
anybody knows, let me know. It's
Yeah,
been
if I remember,
years,
I think it's back to
obviously.
Jill. It's been a
like-
long time.
But yeah, whoever the female lead was in Resident Evil 3, I played the game through with her. The game was beyond difficult. Like at least the mode that I set it on. And being a younger the Don, I had
Younger the Don.
I had many of controllers thrown because of the game. And
Any TVs?
no,
No broken TVs?
hand to God, no broken TVs, thank God.
Yeah, I've gone through a few controllers myself.
Yeah. But Nemesis definitely
pick.
hands down would be
Nemesis is a fantastic pick. So that's yours.
Yeah.
Mine is the Executioner. Yeah.
okay, awesome.
The Executioner, if you've played introduced in Resident Evil 5, this thing is bad. This is a
Yeah.
bad mother.
Yep.
Like, this thing
Oh, yeah.
is-
Shut your mouth.
It's basically a giant dude, probably about, what would we say, 7-8 feet tall.
I would go 8 feet.
Probably
You
a
saw
good-
how big he
probably
was in
good
the shower
450,
scene.
500 pounds more, whatever it is.
Yep.
It's like a massive. What are the dudes that used to? The dudes that. It looks kind of like the medieval guys, the medieval executioners. It's in that mindset, and they just have like this mask that just covers their whole head. They can't see. They don't have any eyes. I guess they go by sound, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like all these hooks and stuff hanging out of its head, and they're massive. They have this giant hammer, like a giant staff hammer.
Yeah.
And in Retribution, they're taking out buses with this hammer. They're literally chopping buses.
That
in
was a
half.
great scene.
Not vertically, horizontally. like so. And there's a great scene in Retribution where Alice and Ada Wong are fighting two of them, and it's just it's mind blowing. And then in Afterlife was the best.
Yeah.
The Afterlife one was the best, and that's what we were referring to with the shower scene. The Executioner goes into the shower, and then spoiler if you haven't seen it, the movie's old now. But Alice and Claire Redfield,
Yep.
in the shower fighting this thing, and there's just one because 3D was big then. It was
Yeah.
it was just starting, and the Executioner throws this axe, and you see it like flying through the screen.
Did you see it in the movie theaters?
Yeah.
I did too.
It
That was insane.
And it's like, and they duck, and it's like the axe like just misses their head. It's just so you see these two tiny little girls trying to fight, and you see Claire because Alice gets knocked out. at some point. Claire's going toe to toe with this thing, and you just see something you didn't see from Claire before in the movie, some acrobatics and just real, real tenacity. And the Execution is it's just when you see it coming, you get a feeling.
Yeah.
It's like in Afterlife, you had all the thousands of zombies outside the gate. But here's the Executioner. They show him walking, dragging his hammer. And he's just like, yeah, I'm going to knock that gate down. You
Yeah.
can put a car in front of it. It doesn't matter. It's coming down. And they did. They put a car in front of it, and the gate still came down. So
Oh God.
so the Executioner is just one bad mother. So
Yeah.
I have to give it to the Executioner. And there's not one. I mean, there's multiple Executioners,
Yeah.
obviously. But yeah, he's just a fantastic, scary character. So I'm a big fan of the Executioner.
That's an awesome pick on KB's part.
Yep.
Question for you, Jay Free. Have you ever even played Silent Hill?
I saw the movie.
So by you seeing the movie,
movie's good.
do you know the triangle head, the pyramid head?
He reminds you of that guy.
Very
but
similar,
Scarier.
much
Bit
scarier and stronger and just pure like
Bigger.
monstrous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was an
So-
awesome pick. Oh, can I also say about your the illustrious shower scene that Jay Free thinks is something naughty. So she makes shotgun ammo out of quarters. This to me was a tilt your hat to video games because when she kills the Executioner, you see the coins rain. And think about it, you kill enemies in Sonic the Hedgehog, you
coins,
get anything,
yeah,
you
yep.
know, you get coins.
Kind of a video game reference, yeah.
You know, it was a little, how you doing? This is a video game movie, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
But,
good
you
point.
know-
That's a really good point. I never thought of it
That's
that way.
funny.
Yeah, but
So on to the characters.
all right, on to the characters.
Number 3.
Wait, we're doing 3? I thought we were going to do one enemy. I can go 3. I can definitely go 3.
we were going to go 3.
Okay, awesome. So, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pair 2 of mine together because...
Okay. I know who you're
See,
pairing probably.
this is what happens when I'm not the one.
okay.
This is what happens when I'm not the one who's running the final.
Oh, no,
countdown.
completely okay
It's
because I initially set up for 3 and then we threw the enemy in, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But now I'm back to where I was.
He
so,
had it anyway. He was ready anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what I was initially going to do. I'm tying the siblings together.
See?
Chris
He's cheating too.
Redfield.
He's doing what I do. I'll put 2 characters into one.
It happens,
Fine.
but
They
they're brother
come
and
hand in
sister.
hand. Yep.
If my memory serves me correct, Claire, I believe, goes to Raccoon City
To find Chris.
to find her brother. Her brother's story in Resident Evil 1, the video game, was great. He was actually the harder playthrough.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Resident Evil 1 made such an impact on me, I played both characters.
Yeah.
And Chris's story was by far harder. Second time around, I played with Claire.
Yeah.
I believe Claire got the crossbow. I found the crossbow to be really cool.
I haven't played those in so long.
I know. I am struggling right now. I want to say that Leon was the male character in Resident Evil 2, and it was cool. But I went with Claire. I saw the last name Redfield. I was like, awesome. I'm on it. That's it. Chris was awesome. Claire's awesome. And then so I'll tie it movie wise now. Ali Lauder, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, Ali
I know
Lauder,
you will
yeah.
never be watching this, but I want you to know I'm a big fan. I loved you in Heroes. I loved you in Final Destination.
Yeah.
I want to say there's other stuff, but I'm drawing a blank right now.
Still looking gorgeous too.
She
after all these
is.
years.
She's
Yeah.
very fit, and Resident Evil franchise does it for you.
Yep, definitely.
She plays an amazing Claire. When we first meet her in the desert, she's awesome. She's the leader of a convoy.
Yep.
One of the smartest things you can do in a zombie apocalypse: keep moving.
Yep.
Initially, you want to stock up on goods, but guess what? You will get caught wherever you are, and you will die. Not necessarily by zombies, but by other crazy people like me. Just saying. We meet her. She is so BA. She is awesome.
Yeah.
She fires me up. Then she loses her memory because of the spider hearts, and we meet this character. He's in a jail cell, and I'm like, it's my boy Wentworth Miller. He broke out of prison. He should be able to break out of this prison cell, but he doesn't. It's okay. Talks to Alice. We start figuring stuff out. He sees Claire. It's me.
And that's the connection
Chris.
because you don't know it first. You don't
We
even really
don't.
think about it. Like
We
yeah.
don't.
It's
But
fantastic.
the brother and sister like working together fired me up. The fight with the dogs, Wesker, Alice, Claire, Chris.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Throwing guns to each other. Boom, boom, boom. It was Matrix-like. Not really Matrix-like. I'm a big Matrix fan. I never mentioned it, but I
Some
am.
cool scenes though. Some
It
real,
was.
real crazy scenes. Definitely.
But I love the brother and sister duo. That's my pick for 3 and 2.
So
For
fun,
3 and 2.
3 and 2. Yeah, I'm not
So-
going to use them.
okay.
So fun fact, real quick, or Rich, my buddy Rich, thank you for watching. Rich said her name was Claire in the Final Destination movies as well.
Ooh, it's good. Good fun fact. Thank you.
Creepy.
That's a good one. I didn't think of that. So I'll do my 3 and 2 together. Seaman, you did yours. So my number 3, Ada Wong.
Woo! Awesome.
Ada Wong. I mentioned her when we did our Stealthy show. I forget what episode that was when
Oh,
we
that
did a
was a
show on.
while ago. That
yeah,
was a
it
while
was the
ago.
Ghostbusters show with our boy Johnny Leather.
Johnny Leather, he's
'Cause
probably
he was-
watching right
he
now.
was
He asked
stealthy.
me today. He said, "Hey, what time is your show?" I said, "Oh, we're starting half an hour late today."
Yeah.
So
But anyway, Ada Wong is just one of those characters, stealthy, sexy. One of the, voted in a lot of polls as like one of the sexiest top 5, 10 sexiest video game characters.
She's awesome.
She's very mysterious, which is fantastic. She's got the moves. She's got the tech. She's got the skills. She's got the beauty. She's got the brains. And to this day, we have no clue who she works for.
No.
Even in I told you there's the animated movies Degeneration, and Damnation. So she was in Damnation, and still even in that she was working, trying to get a sample of something, and you still had no clue who she was working for. She's always trying to she's always in the background.
Yeah.
And the connection with her and Leon is kind of the only. Is it really kind of the only real romance story that we have in the gaming part of it? I think so.
Oh, in the gaming
yeah,
aspect,
the
yes.
gaming aspect is it's the only romance that we kind of have. And it's a weird thing. It's like they're not frenemies, but lover enemies.
Yeah.
Like it's very strange. And they go back all the way to what, Resident Evil 2? Because 2 is 2 where
Two's
if I remember
Leon.
correct. 2 is where they meet in the police station.
Yep.
And Ada is pretending to be just a civilian looking for her boyfriend, and come to find out she's an agent looking for the virus at the time.
Did he
A
find
sample
her
of the
under?
virus.
I see. It's been a while,
And
but
Leon saved her life,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So they have this tie, and in Resident Evil 4, we get to see it. It's just the two of them, and they're on the same mission where Leon's out to save the president's daughter, and Ada is behind him all the way, saving him. And in 6, that happens again.
Yeah.
So if you play 6, and you don't want to play all of it, play just the Leon part, the Leon campaign, and the Ada campaign, and you'll get what you need. Your fix. So Ada Wong is just the red dress is just iconic. The red, she's always something
Super
red.
long slit,
always
yep.
something red. The crossbow, one of her favorite weapons. Great with a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Great with up close. I love Resident Evil 4. There's a scene where she's got her glasses, and her and Leon are kind of fighting.
Yeah.
And Leon like has a knife to her throat, and then like they stop, and she just throws her glasses, and it's a flash bomb.
Yeah.
And she walks away.
Oh God,
And I'm
I
just
remember
like,
now.
That is so awesome. Like you have a flash bomb in your glasses. Like that's some pretty crazy tech. So she's definitely my number 3 character.
Whew.
My number 2, riding off of what you were saying, Claire Redfield.
Woo.
Claire is just fantastic. I feel like Claire is if you love Claire Redfield,
Yeah.
check out the Degeneration movie. The Degeneration animated movie. It's her and Leon.
See,
So,
I'm glad you're telling me this because I
fantastic.
didn't even know.
So basically, Claire is, not to cap too much on what Don was saying, because he pretty much summed the movie up pretty well. But in the game, she's very. I loved her in Revelations 2.
Yeah.
Revelations 2, she's with Burton's daughter, and she's kind of guiding her through. And the thing about Claire, it's the bravery in the games.
Yeah.
It's like, because she was just, if you think about Resident Evil 2, she was just a person coming to find her brother. She was just a worried sister.
Yeah.
And now she's like the head of, not the head, she's part of this anti-terror organization, basically. What's it called? I have it here. TerraSave. So right now she's part of a company called TerraSave.
Yeah.
So she went from kind of nobody, no skills, no kind of training at all, to this, person that's saving the world and fighting zombies and has become an agent of such. So she's definitely my number 2. You said a lot of it. So.
It's awesome that that Claire went with that company because Chris was part of another organization
BSAA.
after BSAA.
Yep.
Good stuff.
So on to number 1. We may have the same number 1 because
I
like my number 1's
All right.
BA.
So, I mean, I have to show.
The bad guys some love.
Well, no. You know what? I'm gonna go like this, okay? Because the movie is coming out tomorrow, I will give my number 1 pick
To Alice.
to Alice.
Yeah.
Alice, we give you all the respect. Any other time we've seen the T virus come into contact with anyone, we've got zombies, we got crazy dogs, we ended up with hunters. If you don't know what a hunter is, they're scary. You don't want to see
Lickers.
them. Run away. We got lickers. You got a preview of them in the movie.
Tyrant.
Yeah, we get main villains,
Yep.
and what ends up happening is these people inject the T virus, and they mutate, like horrifically mutate. Even the doctor who is making his return in this movie, even he mutated. So I'm interested to find out what's gonna bring him back into his human form. Alice bonded perfectly with the T virus to the point where it gave her telekinetic powers. I mean, when you get that glimpse of Alice in the desert when all of the mutated crows are coming in there trying to attack the convoy and the fire gun is swinging and she saves Carlos's life with the telekinetic ball and burns all
I
the
liked
ravens.
Carlos.
Carlos was a good character, man. I like that whole little story. I'm not going to get too off topic, but I like the whole little story that he was the expendable part of Umbrella Corp.
Yep.
They rolled in, they tried to clear out the zombies and couldn't do it. So he's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to roll with these freedom
You
fighters.
guys don't know. Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about Alice in the movies is when they did the whole cloning. The cloning thing was a little strange for me.
The cloning thing was stupid in one sense, but I
made
kind of
sense in another.
yeah, you know, like we need to find out
It
why
was like stupid, but it worked. You know what I mean? It wasn't far fetched because of what Umbrella is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could buy into it. But I agree. Alice is just one of those. I mean, I love Mila Jovovich. She's a fox. She's fantastic.
what was it? Speed Pass? What is it from? Oh man, not what? The Fifth Element.
Yep.
Multipass. That's what she says.
What was her name? Was it Lilu?
I don't
Is
even
that-
remember.
Is that her name in the Fifth Element?
I've seen
It's
that
something
movie.
like that.
That movie was ridiculous.
But also, Dazed and Confused.
Oh yeah,
She's very young in that movie, but she's just funny.
she rocked out.
Yeah, so definitely one of my favorite actresses too. So that's a good pick. You know, you gotta give her due because she kind of brought it to the mainstream audience because the games, you know, more mainstream people could watch the movie, at least see it out there.
I think they cast her for that movie because of how awesome she was in The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Like they almost took that character and made her not space. Like they're like, oh my god, you know what? We're gonna take this kick butt girl right here, and we're gonna throw in Resident Evil with her.
Yeah.
We're gonna build this Resident Evil franchise above this, like around this super, like
I think the Fifth
fighting
Element
machine.
showed what
she could do.
or a presence, basically. It's a good number one. My number one. He's a bad man.
Woo!
Just like if you ever watch ESPN and Stephen A. Smith will say it's about Aaron Rodgers, he's a bad man, and that's Leon S. Kennedy.
Oh,
Leon S. Kennedy. When you report directly to the president,
Yeah.
there's nobody can give you an order but the president.
Whew.
You're a bad man. Resident Evil 4 is when we really see that part where he becomes that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he goes back. You know, in Resident Evil 2, it's his first day on the job, if I remember correctly. He's his first day on the job at Raccoon City.
Yeah,
Raccoon
and he's
Police
reporting for
Department,
duty, yeah.
and this happens his first day on the job.
Phew.
He's also in the movie. He was in Retribution, which I liked how he was cast in Retribution. He was fantastic. He's in both. He is the lead in both Damnation and Degeneration. So if you really like Resident Evil 4,
Yeah,
you'd
check
like
those out.
Yeah, you'll like those movies. But basically, Resident Evil 6, he kills the president in the very beginning. The man shoots the president, who is also his friend, because the president was turning. So he shot the president. Imagine being the man.
I didn't know that.
But imagine having.
He's got me beat on that too. I don't know.
Imagine having the cojones to shoot the president. That's a situation. The president turns, and you have to be the man.
Okay, yeah, we need to put this into perspective because I don't want this being like taking the snippets, taking out, and
No,
Yeah.
this is a zombified president.
Yeah, zombified
Zombified.
Yeah, so he turns and is attacking Helena, who's his partner
Yeah.
in that game. And
Was she in RE3? Is that the one from RE3? If anyone
can't
knows,
remember.
I can't remember the female. Sorry.
But RE6, you know, he's attacking Helen. So he's basically Mr. President, and he shoots him. He has no choice. So imagine being that man and having, you know, that. In Damnation, there's an outbreak, and not without giving away the movie. Some of the characters like, oh, they're calling in backup from the DOS, which is Department of. What is it? I had it written down. It's called Department of what do they call it? Department of Security.
Yeah.
So he's his own department, I guess. He reports to the president. Oh, the Department of Security supporting us, and then he comes and like, you're it. I'm it.
It's all you need.
You know, it's all you need. And throughout that movie, there are people that are not listening to Leon, and Leon's been through this so much.
Yeah.
He's bad. He knows what he's doing. He's cool. Leon is the coolest. You know what I mean? Like nothing phases Leon.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We never see him break ever. He can deal with anything, any stressful situation. Great with all kinds of weapons. Great with his pistols, dual pistols. If you, like I said, if you check out those other two animated movies, fantastic. You'll fall more in love with the character.
Yeah.
But like I said, he's just one of those characters. Saving the President's Daughter, Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
You know, the bosses that he fights in that Salazar was the little dude that turned into the giant thing in the wall. You have to go back and play Resident Evil 4.
I have to check this out.
But yeah, so he's definitely my number one because he's just, you know, a cool character, and that's cool. I mean, cool as in even keel, you know.
Yeah.
With everything, takes it in stride, and you kind of wish that, like, if you're in the zombie apocalypse, that's the attitude you want to have. Somebody who doesn't break, doesn't bend, doesn't, you know. So yeah, so that's my number one.
I don't have a number one. I'm not on the countdown, but that's a great final countdown. You need to go. Okay, and that's great final countdown, everybody. But that's only you two guys. But still, great final countdown. I know nothing of these characters.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by them, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Being an outsider, kind of, and I want to also say to some of the people going back and forth, my buddies Rich and JV, keep it civil. That's
Back to
cool.
Jill.
I like it. And then, just want to say, we're trying to stay PG here, so just watch some of the language.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
going to call anybody out, but not you guys, because we're keeping it clean on here. So does anybody have anything else? We want to wrap it up. You guys, are you guys gonna see the flick?
Yeah, we're gonna go check it out this weekend.
Yeah,
We're
we
trying to
are.
get to it. But I just want to shout out. From looking at our comment board, looks like we had a lot of new viewers, and
Yeah.
we appreciate
Yeah.
appreciate the
no,
viewers.
we're
and
we're
people
we're still
watching.
growing. We're still trying to grow. We brought the
So
Don on.
Shout
He
out
brought
to all of our new viewers.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime you want, go back, check out old episodes. So this is a great segue
Yeah.
for all of our
Segue.
new viewers. If you're watching on the 59 Media page right now on Facebook, thank you. But we also have our own podcast page called the Free Your Geek Podcast. KB and I, every Wednesday, he does Marvel covers of the week. I do DC comic covers of the week. Just our favorites. But we have a plethora of other social media
Going on, getting
things.
started.
Yeah, so why don't you guys talk a little bit about it?
We're starting Twitch soon. We got a Twitch account going, but we got to get some stuff posted there. But we're starting there.
Yeah, we're gonna. I want to say we're gonna be getting that going probably this
Sooner.
week.
Yeah.
What's
yeah,
the
I
name of
think
the Twitch channel?
so. For your
Free
geek
Geek
gaming.
Gaming.
Free Your Geek Gaming. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
We just started it this week, so
Instagram and Twitter.
Yep.
Free Your Geek. I've been throwing up. I bought a page a day calendar, and I've been throwing up a different calendar page
Yeah.
every day.
Nice.
I'm at my desk, little Marvel stuff.
YouTube.
YouTube, Free Your Geek on YouTube. Right now, it's still going to mine. We got to switch it over to the actual Free Your Geek stuff, but we have some stuff. I'll be transferring all the content over there.
Got some interesting things coming in March.
Yes, some
Woo!
some
Yep.
Don came up with a really cool idea. We've been kind of teasing it a little bit. I think we have a show. I don't know if we're allowed to say Super Bowl because I think there's like a copyright. thing.
Copyright.
So the big game.
Ah.
Sunday we have a show on the day of the big game.
Yep.
We don't know what time that's going to be yet, but that'll be
Live
on
from
59
Jerry
Media.
Remy's?
We'll be at Jerry Remy's.
Yep.
We'll be talking about football type geek stuff, video games, maybe a little bit, comic books, maybe some pop culture, cartoons from when we were growing
Yep.
up, things
That'd
along
be
that
cool.
nature.
Yep.
Speaking of video games, another show on the 59 Media family.
Nerf Gaming. Check those guys out.
They'll be going a lot more in depth into the Resident Evil game.
And if you're a big fan of gaming, those guys know their stuff.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
really
yeah.
do. They
They know their
really
stuff.
do know their stuff.
My buddy Rich is endearing himself to the entire Facebook universe right now, so thank you, buddy. He likes to be an instigator. He's an instigator, and that's okay. That's okay. So usually, KB, you say the catchphrases.
We'll let Don say them this week.
Well, I think it's time.
I got it.
So, do you guys want to do?
Make sure you memorize
It's
them.
good. It's good this time.
We're
It's
good
good. I
this time?
promise
This
I
is
won't
his
mess it up.
test.
All right. Well, I would just like to say to everyone here, again, all the new viewers, thank you. Check out our Facebook page if you're not on there now and you're watching from 59 Media. Check out all of our social media stuff. And Don, do you want to go out on this? You can go out on this.
We usually do like plugs though.
Okay, let's do some plugs.
Outside plugs.
Let's go some outside plugs.
All right. I want to give a big shout out to Will Califf at stormthecastle.com.net, one of the two. If you guys think that we're geeks, he is an OG, an original geek. I mean, like, he does the most coolest stuff. In my teenage years, I would go over his house with him, like, building, like, me and, like, one of my best friends, Corey, like, would show me, like, all of these crazy castles and sculptures. He does tutorial videos on how to make rockets, swords. Like, this guy is, like, the ultimate cool geek, because geek is cool now. Like, trying to be a cool kid doesn't matter. Like, the stuff that we're doing is what's up. So check out Storm the Castle, definitely. I want to give a shout out to everybody at Tap House, Java House. Keep doing your thing, guys. We're going to be bringing more live entertainment now. Like, things are really going to be picking up, and I want you guys to come check it out. Us on Free Your
Plug
Geek
us.
Gaming. Free Your Geek Gaming. I'm telling you, check us out on Twitch. This is going to be really big. We're going to be doing... I want KB and I to get together some more. Even like little snippet broadcasts so you guys can like see us when we're not here on Thursdays. Like, you know what I mean? I'm very happy to be a part of the show. These guys are awesome.
Likewise.
Yep.
Free Your Geek.
Don, thanks for the poster. Man.
Those are my plugs, and I'm ready for catchphrases.
All right. Do we have anything else we want to put? Because now you just kind of set the bar.
Hey, and hold on, one thing. Shout out to Christine on here. She said as Jill in RE3. She answered your question.
Thank you, Ms. Banville. It was Jill in RE3, and then that's who I played through with. So it was even harder for me. Like I played
There
through
you go.
with Jill. It was tough.
All right.
All right. Okay. We got to be prepared for this. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So thank you all for watching this episode of For Your Geek. And usually I say, KB, hit him with the catchphrase. So I'll say,
We'll let Don do
hey,
it this
Don, hit him with the catchphrases.
Start the weekend with your geek friends and get your geek on.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.